Hey everybody, happy Memorial Day. Thank you to all those who have served as we remember on this Memorial Day 2022. And that's why I use one of Forrest Fenn's pictures from his military service. We got a PowerPoint tonight. We're coming up on
That was mine. Sorry.
we're coming up on 2 years since the treasure was declared found. And K-Pro's got a PowerPoint to go over all kinds of good stuff. So I just want to remind everybody to thumbs up if you like the PowerPoint, if you like the way we do our show, and if you like that we bring you the Chase News every week on Mondays. Super Chat's on if you want to say thanks or you have a question. And take it away, K-Pro.
Well, I decided to mix it up a little bit because, have you heard about this copper factory? These copper factory guys, they have the best chase game show in all of the land. So I thought, it doesn't really matter how many people are in here. We needed to find our niche. We can't just say, oh, we're the biggest show because we've just been around a long time. They're just starting out. Of course, they're not going to have as many. So I'm competitive. So I decided we needed to find our niche. So we are going to be the best chase newspaper in all of the land.
The best chase newspaper. Okay.
Yes, because we can't step on their toes with the game show. And I think they got something going on there. Some of their questions make me cringe, but I think the newspaper thing, I pulled down a template. I had some fun with it. It has a gossip area. It has an events calendar. It has some hard hitting breaking news. These are the things a newspaper has. So I just want to say I'm going to have a little fun tonight. I'm starting to get out of my whatever it has been because it's been a little, I don't know, just not great for a little bit. Copper Dan's been working on me and I have something to say to him tonight, but that's in the gossip part and we leave that till the end. So if you want to drop off at the end, there's like a Dear Myrna or a Dear Abby part of the newspaper.
Mm-hmm.
There's a part of Dear K-Pro's Corner, and that's where it's going to be all rumors and gossip and all of that. So I do want to say thank you to all service people, but especially those that have fallen. Somebody gave me a long email about Memorial Day is not about veterans. That's Veterans Day. I think every day. It's kind of like Mother's Day. Mother's Day should be every day. We should be thanking our service people every day. I saw one at the airport, and I walked over and I found the server, and I said, can I just take their bill? And I paid their bill and they didn't know it. They don't even know that it was me. And I walked away. That's what you do for service people in this country. Go ahead, Mike.
So I just looked it up. So just to clarify, Memorial Day is a federal holiday in the United States for mourning the U.S. military personnel who have died while serving in the United States Armed Forces. So that's why it's memorial. It's a Memorial Day.
Yes.
But we thank everybody who served regardless. Okay, there we go.
Right. And Mike is one of those people. Yes, Mike wasn't in for 30 years. I don't care if you're in for a day. If you've gone through that and you had the opportunity, you bought into the opportunity to die for our country. Sorry, you're good people. You're good people to me. Some of you I like more than others, but I really like that guy, Cal. There we go.
Okay. Okay. Question on the cover photo, meaning our thumbnail. Is that Captain Fenn or Major Fenn? Because he was awarded the Silver Star as Major Fenn for being shot down. Would you say you were a captain when you were a major? I don't know the answer to that. I don't know what rank Forrest was when he got out, so I don't know. What about you, K-Pro?
I do, because one time we were talking about. Well, no, and I know it wasn't captain. It was major because he said, how do I call you? And I said, you don't have to call me doctor. And he goes, then I won't make you call me. And I'm almost certain it was captain or major. It was major. You don't have to call me major then. And I started laughing. We went, okay, then we can be friends. And he's like, K-Pro. We also had a whole talk about when he calls me K-Pro and when he calls me Christy. There's one of them he's mad, one of them he's not. I'll leave that for another day. That's such a tangent.
And he told me my name is Forrest. Mr. Fenn was my father. So
yeah, he didn't like Mr. Fenn, but sometimes he liked to be called Major.
All right. Should we jump right into it?
Yes.
This one's going to be interesting. I think you make some salient points. So here we go. All right. The Chase News. All the news. It's good news for Gary Gnews, for those of you that remember what that was. Okay, the Chase News. I think we should do this every week, maybe, or at least once a month.
Yeah, so I like this template, and I kind of like putting it in these sections. And so we're going to go over, and I'm going to start each of these with a picture of me and Mike, because that's what we do. It's our channel. And it makes me smile. And so it'll start things off in a good way. And then I'll do this at the end with some pictures of us, because that also makes me smile. And it's going to be pictures where searchers have been. So this was the day before our wedding, where we had a great time in the pet house in Bally's, and all of you guys were awesome. Hello there, Tom.
Is our place. We were there last night. We've had a lot of fun times at Bally's. That's true.
Yeah.
With all of you at the World Series of Fenn. Okay.
Okay. So we have, so go to the next slide. This is like the little format. So it's like you're reading a newspaper, right? So this is a table of contents, and we have 5 sections in the newspaper today. We have the section that's the court update. We have the time capsule that you guys asked me about a couple weeks ago. I have some specific information. Some log update, the logs, the Rudy log, the Finder log. We'll talk about that. What is next? This month is going to be a jam-packed month. I have some information there. And then K-Pro's Corner. There's been some questions around the community, like Cynthia's map. And there's been some questions of
gossip. Anybody remember the movie Meatballs? Bill Murray's first movie, where all the campers and the counselors were in the cafeteria and they're like, gossip, gossip. And they just kept yelling it until they finally did it. That's kind of what K-Pro's Corner is going to be. So,
yeah. Okay. So, like where it says, dear whoever, like in the gossip call, that's what I'm going to answer questions. I put up questions on Facebook and on Thor, and I'm going to get to as many of them as we can until we're ready to just drop. So there you go.
The Chase News court update.
Okay. So the court update is an interesting one. Oop. Okay. So last we heard Yellowstone intervened. The judge denied it. They were going to do a motion to another motion. They said, well, everything's gone silent. And here's what the gone silent is. Jack has not been subpoenaed to be at the hearing. So for him to be at the hearing, there needs to be a subpoena issued. And that has not happened. So unless things change, he is not going to be at the hearing. He has not been subpoenaed. He did not do the deposition. So he is done at this point. And the estate was clear that they were not going to be asking him, even if he was present, the solution or final location. We need to refocus a little bit here, even though this is huge for our community and we're talking about it. This is a probate hearing for the people in Forrest's family to get closure on his passing and his estate and to move on with their life. So as much as, yes, we're getting some information from it, which is its own double-edged sword, we need to focus on, this is the family to get closure and move on. But of special note, Jack was not on McCracken's witness list, only the estates. So Forrest estate would be the one issuing the subpoena. And as of today, things could still change, but as of today, that did not happen. So Jack's on. And even if he was, well, I have that on the next slide. So these are the facts. There's no subpoena. He's not going to be at the deposition. He didn't do the deposition. He's not going to be at the hearing. Okay, next. Now, here's my opinion on that. Jack's not going to be in court, period. I believe the park was clear with him in August of, 2020. That's right.
Right, yeah.
That the motion to intervene, even though it's dismissed, Jack cannot speak on this. And even if he was called, he'd be pleading the fifth. So he's not coming because he's not needed, and he's not needed in McCracken's case, or McCracken would be calling him. The estate side needs to do 3 things. They need to show, 1, Forrest is passed. They have a death certificate, but they have some other things. 2, that Jack is the finder. And there's already testimony of Zoe in her deposition. There is already articles and official depositions from Forrest. So 2, that's 2, and 3, that it was found in Wyoming. And there's already a sworn statement that Fenn has already given in the Erskine case. So I don't think cost is the issue. We're talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars already being expended. It's not that they are getting cheap now and they don't want to fly in Jack for $1,000 or $2,000 or whatever it be. In my opinion, I believe it could have strengthened the case, but all the Forrest estate needs to show is that Jack was the finder. It was found in Wyoming, because then the McCracken's lawsuit that it was in New Mexico is done, and that Forrest has passed. So there you go. Do you have any?
Yeah, I agree with all that. I mean, I don't really think I have anything to add at this point, but I will later. Don't you worry.
Yeah, we got some stuff at the end. You got. Okay, so what are they doing right now? McCracken and Forrest Estate side, and I believe it's Summer. It could be Hickey and Summer. I don't know. They are putting together what are called exhibit books. These exhibit books are folders of all the exhibits that they will go to court with. There will be, if you've been watching the Heard and Johnny Depp case, there's these folders that they go into and they go to page whatever, because both sides get the same books. So the thing that they have to do is get those books ready for each other. And what they do is go through a process that's either going to be a contested exhibit or an uncontested exhibit. So let's say Forrest side has 20 exhibits. McCracken gets to see those up front, and that's actually happening tomorrow from what McCracken has said. And they will go over each one and they'll say, nope, I don't have an issue with that one. Nope, I do have an issue with that one because of whatever. That goes into the contested pile. And then the very first thing that the judge will rule on is at the beginning of this trial of, these are the 6 that were contested. And I agree, these 3 are in and these 3 are out. They're inadmissible in court. So does that all make sense?
Mm-hmm. I got it. I think so.
Christy, there's not actual information on here, so you can go. Okay, so more motions to intervene have been filed and they've all been dismissed. There's a number of process information that's going to be filed over the next few weeks. And all of it is kind of checking the boxes to prepare for the hearing day, because the hearing day is going to happen and that's going to be it. There's not going to be anything else after that. So everything is, all the crossing the T's and dotting the I's are happening. Now, the tentative hearing is scheduled for June 13th. But the docket call hasn't happened. And I might use the wrong term a little bit here, but they are going to finalize this week. The judge just asked at the hearing, does anybody have conflicts? Does anybody have right now it's the 13th, but he is going to be issuing this week the final schedule. And then that'll get issued up on the website for the month of June.
Okay.
That's pretty straightforward. This stuff is pretty straightforward.
Oh, more updates on McCracken.
Yeah, and this is more unofficial, but McCracken has updated on his website that he did not get time to go to the FBI and get the exhibits from the FBI. So, but he's confident the witnesses will give whatever information regarding the ranch. I don't fully understand that, but that's what he's saying.
Skinwalker Ranch? Maybe not.
No. And then there is a paper trail of emails, scrapbooks, photos, videos, and other documents for his case that's being assembled. He said he's going to have and expects over 100 exhibits when he finishes.
Wow.
And he's pretty sure that the estate's going to settle because his case is, and he wants to give as much time as possible for the settlement phase. He believes he's going to get a settlement and not have to go to court, which I don't believe that, but I'm not an insider. So he may be right. I wouldn't bet my money on it. What do you think, Mike?
Right. Yeah, no, the state's not going to settle for anything. They're going to settle for his crazy thing to be dismissed. But anyway, we'll see how it plays out. It is court, and you know what they say, anything can happen. So we'll see.
Dun, dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. Time capsule. Okay, so 2 shows ago, I think there was a discussion on, is there a time capsule? That was all new information to me. I don't know if I reached out to her. She reached out to me. But Stephanie was kind enough to give me the actual exchanges between her and Forrest regarding what she called the time capsule. I think this will answer any questions anybody has. I did not ask for, and I know a lot of you guys do this, and we're going to talk about this later with both Mike and Cynthia. I didn't ask for actual emails and pictures of that. I just believe her. So if you don't believe the email, somebody could doctor a screenshot of an email. So this is what was provided, and I think it's fair, and I appreciate her for giving this to us. And I'm giving both of her direct emails and then her kind of summary at the end of her opinion, and she's allowed one of those too. So, but don't ask for an official. I won't ask for an official email because that's silly sauce. So, Mike, read away.
So search your email to Forrest. There's a recording file in that collection that says it can't be opened till 2026. It's in box 2, folder 9, interview 9. Interesting that it's 9s. So my thought is that it might be a back door to the treasure hunt where you've left a recording that gives information about it. It could even have to do with the Time magazine mentioned in your memoir. So that's what that's about. Probably far-fetched, but I think it's a fun idea. Very Indiana Jones and fun to speak in the future. So, K-Pro, for everybody that has no idea what we're talking about, where is this located at?
Center of the West is the Cody Museum. It's also known as, when you hear about McCracken, it's a research library within. And Nomadic, madman, that hurts my heart. I will try to let Mike intervene more. I don't know. Keep going, Mike. He's being silly.
Okay, so they're saying there is this thing there at the museum that can't be open until 2026. All right. So this was an email to Forrest. Okay. And this was Forrest's response. And again, the credit goes to Stephanie. She sent this to you, I'm assuming?
Yeah, April? I appreciate it. Yes.
Yeah. So Forrest's response was, that recording is part of the oral history of old guys in this country. It was made years ago, and to anyone who was looking for the treasure. I gave an hour interview yesterday to the Defense Department about my involvement in the Vietnam War. If I get a copy, I'll post it on my website, F. So while it was fun to think that maybe something in that time capsule had something to do with the treasure hunt from Forrest himself, he says, no, it does not.
Well, it's interesting because I believe these are the same ones that are in the Library of Congress. I always thought Library of Congress was a hint. And the only thing at the Library of Congress were these oral history but keep going, because she has some opinions as well, and some people that may know more, in her opinion, not in like absolute fact.
So and this is according to Stephanie, right? Others who may have information. Davio. I've heard that Davio went there to the Museum of the West, right? We're talking about. I've heard that Davio went there to find and listen to it, and he did. And someone was upset that he was able to. We don't know if that's true or not. We haven't reached out to Davio, have we?
No.
Okay. We could. And then also Eugene went up there to try and listen to it back in 2013 when I originally posted about it. I can't remember if he was able to get any information about it. So it sounds to me like with the Forrest response and with the Eugene and Davio, that there definitely is something there at the museum by Forrest or from Forrest, some kind of recording that will not be open until 2026. And that's kind of where we're at. And Forrest says it has nothing to do with the treasure hunt. So,
well, there's one more, and then she puts in an opinion piece. She's allowed an opinion. So one more slide on this.
Mm-hmm. This is the opinion piece from Stephanie. I don't know anything more about that, if it's true or not, that he listened to what this was, meaning Davio, I think. I don't know if Forrest was telling me the truth, because if it was something about the chase, it's my guess he wouldn't have wanted anyone to know it. I call it an audio time capsule, but I don't know that it's anything more than a recording. I sent a letter recently to the McCracken Library about it, and they opened my email, but never responded. So I guess we got to wait till 2026 to figure out what it is.
There you go. So I personally think nothing, but when it comes out, I'm sure going to listen to it. So thank you to Stephanie. So that section of the newspaper is now read. Let's go to the next. Kansas girl. I messed up the dates. Monday is not 5:31. It's 5:30. That was a quiz, and you win. I don't know what you win.
Won. What did you win? Nothing. But you got it, so that's good. Yeah. The undiscovered slip up while Forrest was on the phone, apparently. No, that's just a picture we use. The undiscovered slip up.
Yeah.
Okay. This is from Woody on Dale's blog, as you guys can see. Somebody named Woody on June 11th, 2020 at 11:14 p.m. said, and I quote, "Several years ago, I watched an interview with Forrest Fenn. What surprised me is in the background, hanging on his wall, were two separate maps that treasure hunters had developed and sent him on their solution. I took a picture of both maps and studied them. I asked myself, why would Forrest Fenn hang up those two maps when he receives many solutions? I knew then it was because they both were close to the treasure, but something was missing. When you compared the two maps, there was an area that was not covered. That area is one of Forrest Fenn's favorite places. It's the area between the Barnes Hole and 9 Mile Hole on the Madison River, where there are lush meadows, pine trees, gorgeous mountain peaks, quaking aspens, and lots of animals. The elevation for Home of Brown is around 6,700 feet. Wow, I can't believe it. I should have kept my mouth quiet and went boots on the ground before I left to the Philippines. Be patient. Perry Mason is at work." So this was a post on Dale's blog back in 2020.
Yeah, let me interrupt you just for a second. Now, Lisa's saying it was open. Sam is saying, no, it has not been opened. So it's a mystery. If you guys want to look into it more. Yeah, the last one. Look at the one just before that.
Oh, gotcha. Was 2025 made available? Was 2025 made available? People remember this. The October.
Yeah, but so USA, China.
So yeah, I don't know. Whoever goes up there next, find out or call and find out. Okay. And then Sam is saying, no, it was not opened. It does exist and it is there. So if anybody wants to figure that out, go up there and talk to them.
Now, this one I'm just super interested in. So I did have a searcher reach out and say, I'll give you Woody's email, but I'm not comfortable giving anything else. And I thought that was very fair. I reached out to Woody via the email, explained who I was, said, can you say that you have pictures at least? This isn't on, we've gone through all of Dale's old archive. Several sets of searchers have. It's not there. I have not heard back from him. So several of you have told me where he lives, his life transition. You guys knew a lot about him personally, which I don't think it was anything secret, but they're like, I knew he did this or he transitioned to that. He might not check the email anymore. I don't want to hunt him down because I would need to be invading his personal space. Several of you know him personally. Would you please, on behalf of us, reach out and let's see if we can, because this sounds super interesting to me. So if you would be willing, I would love to hear more. And if you know Woody, please reach out to him and hopefully we can see whatever this is, because I think it's super awesome. So
that's the biggest thing is we want to see the interview. Which Forrest Fenn interview is this where he had searchers maps in the background? Because I don't remember it. So we're wondering.
Well, and even if it's gone, he's saying he took pictures of it. Now, remember, this is 5 days after the find. He didn't even know that it was going to be 9 Mile Hole. How this is remarkable that it was that timing. So yes, super curious. We're super curious. This is interesting. Let's see if we can figure this out. If we can't find Woody, we would never be able to find a treasure chest. So somebody find Woody for me, please.
The logs.
The logs.
Okay.
And I saw a really good request. Every newspaper has a cartoon section. I'll work on that for next time. I don't have that for this.
Cartoon, that'd be pretty good. All right. We are in the comics. So okay. Yeah. Rudy's log. It just doesn't sound right. But Rudy's log. So we're saying the one on the left, this is the Forrest Fenn treasure, boots on the ground, 9 Mile Hole, May 12th, 2022.
Okay, wait, let me tee this up a little bit. There is one more set of analysis that I thought was super interesting, even though there's been lots and lots of them. And so I want to tee up, you're going to see a comparison, but you have to see Rudy's log first, Finder's log second, because this picture that's on the right, you're going to see in a comparison mode in a second. But I wanted to get your bearings on where it was on the log. Okay, go ahead.
Be safe, Sam. So this is a blown up picture of that log, right?
Yes.
Okay. And then if we take the log from Jack's picture from when he found it with the treasure chest there, and we blow that up, right? That's what this is.
Right.
And then we compare the two blown up pictures, Rudy's log on the top, Jack's log on the bottom.
So this is maybe a couple inches.
Boom. That's what we see. We see a fingerprint, everybody. We see matches.
Yes. So I'll let you go back. Let's leave this up for just a second. You guys can go back to this section later. The interesting part of this is all the minuscule similarities that are in such a way that it makes it more and more less likely that these are different logs. Let's zoom in even more on a couple of these. And there's even higher res up on Thor. Mm-hmm. So this is maybe a 2-inch by 2-inch comparison. For there to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 specific similarities in a 2-inch by 2-inch area, I'm being told is virtually impossible. It would be like 1 billion to 1. But this is subjective. So let's go to the next slide and talk about.
I see a face right here. Look at that. 2 eyes, and there's the nose. Out of that log. Okay, that's not scary. All right. It just ends up, and Zozo says supposedly that is still subjective. That's right. You guys got to make up your own mind on this. We present the pictures and the evidence, and you guys make up your own mind.
Right. So you guys know that I reached out to some wood scientists. I reached out to some log cabin builders. I reached out to some arborists. I reached out to, forums, etc. Here is what I've received back. I have received back a lot of these people. I was not, I put a video out and the video is on the Cowlazars channel. The people that reached back to me said, oh, so this is the one that's in a big lawsuit. So you want the opinion for us to go on record as an expert to get in the middle of this nonsense without compensation? And some of them sent me like, one of the, you guys can take this and we'll make it a clickable link. They sent me some information about how cracks actually do heal, because that was my biggest issue is how did that heal?
Well, you're telling me experts have said it is possible that cracks like that heal up. To me, that's the question. Is it yes? can happen. And
they not only said that, yes, and it's from the few that answered back, they said, I would go on record if you wanted to compensate me in my consultative rate. There is no question in their mind that this many matches, it's like a fingerprint. Once you get more than so many matches, but they want compensation before they will go on record for that. So my question is, one, would Yellowstone allow us to have a log? Wouldn't that be cool? But is this something, it's kind of like O's, I'm not willing to pay several $1,000s. To me, it's already a match. Would anyone be convinced if some log expert came out and said, absolutely, these are the same? Would that change your mind? Or if someone came out and said, these are absolutely not the same and you think they are, would that change your mind back the other way? If there is enough interest that people are saying this would change my mind, we'll start a fundraising process, just like the O's fundraiser, and we'll start the process. But I want to ask the room of the couple hundred of you here.
Yeah. A outside third independent party that has some kind of expert in logs or woods. Yeah. If they could, we can get rid of that. If they would, yeah, I know what you're saying. If they would independently verify if they believe it's the same log in their opinion, or is it just possible that a crack can close like that? To me, that's a more important question. Is that a known thing?
Would you pay several $1,000s to hear that?
No,
officially.
I don't need it. So no, I would not.
Yeah. So to me, it probably wouldn't change things. But if you're saying no expert needed, too many unique matches, the comparison would hold up in a court of law. So to me, so here's the bigger thing. I believe that, like Chris is saying, absolutely not. No way that could heal itself. So Chris, if you had someone say to you that's an expert in the field, either a 40-year log person that builds logs homes or a PhD in wood science, would that change your mind? Mike, they're back. Would that change your mind? To me, it would not be it wouldn't be a good use of our time. But if everyone here said that, KJ, we're going to get to Cynthia's map in a minute. I promise you we're not leaving tonight. It's a miracle log, no science needed. I just don't think anyone's going to be swayed at this point.
Right. And I guess I would just say this, and it was Fripp in the chat who's got a good point, if I can find it, and that is, it will be interesting to see if the weather changes the gap somehow, and as people visit the log throughout the season, if the gap comes back. So in other words, if somebody goes at the end of the summer, is it going to change? Is that gap going to come back? Or maybe, I don't know if anybody can get there during the winter, but yeah, maybe at the beginning, will it change? And that will be interesting to see if the gap comes back or not.
Okay, there's two comments I have to make. Mike N, this is such a good point. Ash Shiloh, isn't he a timber expert? The old wood? Yeah, that's really funny. Don't spend your money. Lisa, we're not spending our money. We would help fundraise and crowdsource if that was of interest. So I don't know. I say no. I don't see anybody saying yes, and I would contribute. Everybody already has their opinions. I don't think it's.
I agree, Sean, but right. Everybody's got their opinion. So
right. Okay. So are we done with this section of the newspaper, good sir?
I think so. All right. The chase. Oh, what's next? What's next, bro?
So let's
chase calendar.
There's really 3 major things happening this month. And the numbers and the numbers don't match. This is just kind of a fun way to display it. So there is a new podcast that's starting out next week. I believe it's on the 6th. The trailer is out. It's from Calvary Media. It sounds like there were 3 searchers. 2 were people that have sued Forrest. 1 is saying there's some sort of a government conspiracy. So I like how Dan Barbarisi put it. I think the news fit to print right now is all the conspiracies. Like, we're not as fun because we're just given facts and that's it. The conspiracy stuff of Forrest was trying to go after the government or the government, whatever. There's also Dale and Douglas that have clips. I've spoken to both of them.
I mean, I'm assuming it's free. As long as it's free, I'm going to listen to it if I can find it. I tried to find it on my little app I use and it didn't come up. But anyway, once June 6th, once it's out, we'll do a show and give our opinion on it. So
yeah.
The
last estate legal lawsuit the hearing will be sometime in June, and there probably will be appeals though. It probably won't be that is the final and that's it. And then it is the 2-year anniversary of this ending. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's debatable, Ryan, but that's
fine. Well, I'll just say Dale and Douglas.
Yeah.
Let me just summarize it this way. They are saddened they are being related to some of those that think they're big names in the chase.
Well, I would want to hear Dale and Douglas's opinion, so that's why I'm going to watch.
Well, this is they were interviewed over a year ago, and I think those that they're being associated with now, I think it's an exact quote, saddens.
It's sad. They can come out and make their own statement.
Right. And they're big boys to do it. I just let them know of the clip and when it came out from Calvary. I've known that this is going to be out for a while, but reporters are going to go whichever way they want to go, and you get associated with people, and people change over time. I mean, maybe, yeah. So, okay, that's all that's there. And then the 2-year anniversary of this ending is here, and it's before us, which is pretty amazing. So let's move on.
Okay, the Dear K-Pro's Corner. So these are where people have emailed K-Pro, and you guys could, if we do this monthly, email K-Pro all your questions, and maybe he'll make it in the PowerPoint. Oh, no.
Up on Facebook and up on Thor, and you can email me because I'm going to put my email at the end. I'm trying to get as many of these included as possible.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, put your questions up there, and we will try and get it answered or give our opinion on it in a future show, and that's all we can do. And we are going to do that tonight. All right, give me a second. Okay, get back to it. There we go. Okay, here we go. 1 year, Jack. You want me to read it? What do you want?
Yes. So it's Dear K-Pro's Corner, and then this is the question.
Today marks 1 year since Jack gets mail number 3. What do you think Jack would say today? From not far too far.
Okay, don't go to the next one. So Mike and I are each going to give our opinions, and then we're going to do a little funny thing. So let's start with our opinions. What do you think 1 year ago was Jack gets mail 3? What do you think Jack would say today, Mike?
You guys are jerks. Leave me alone. That's what I think he would say. maybe more, a little bit more diplomatically than that, but I think that's what he would mean. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to leave my answer to the meme I found. I hope it actually, like, it's a GIF.
Oh, it will. There it is. And that's what you think Jack would say. Yeah, and it has turned into that. I mean, it just has, which is, I don't think anybody could have guessed this ending for the chase and for the finder, but here we are. Okay.
KJ, I told you we're going to go over Cynthia's map. We're coming up to it, but what is adult? I don't even know what adult is. So you are misquoting me.
Adult's like an idiot.
Oh, yeah. Since I didn't know the word,
talk about it.
You're misquoting, good sir or madam.
Wait, you didn't call them dolts, did you?
Well, that's what it says. Why did you call us dolts?
Right. Well, I don't think anybody did. I don't know where they're getting that. But anyway, it doesn't.
I can tell after. Yeah, let's just keep going.
Okay. We always have a couple. Okay. The item left behind. Is there any evidence of something left behind by the finder at the spot? And if this is the 9 Mile Hole log as the spot, who has it, and why have they not come forward if, in fact, it was there? Living life big.
What's your thought before I give my thought?
Why would Jack leave anything behind? In other words, why would you take anything out of the treasure chest and leave it behind? You want to sell it. I mean, if I find a treasure chest, I'm taking all of it. I'm not leaving anything behind. So, no, I don't think anything was left behind. Yeah,
I think it's fun I know the Nookers went and looked around when they thought it was a different spot. So I think it's fun to think about, but in reality, I just don't think let's just say the emerald ring, I do find it odd that one of the highest individual items monetarily was lost. Do I think it's possible that it could have been dropped? I do, especially since the contents went in one and the other was the treasure chest, but I think it would have washed down into the Madison by now. That's what I think. Hello, Richard.
So even if something was left behind, you think it's gone?
I don't think it's there at the spot.
Blame it on the rain.
Now let's see what meme we found. That could be fun. This could be our cartoon section.
It's a no from me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we both agree. We don't think anything was left behind.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
And Grossbrock, it does seem to me that it doesn't fit exactly the description of that one copywritten picture that had all the stuff in it. It wasn't even close to that. So I don't know. It seems like a there, but Gosh, I don't know. It's fun to think about, but I don't think there's a there. Okay, let's keep going.
That dog just won't hunt.
That dog won't hunt.
Sarah Davis. Copper Dan said Sarah Davis may make an appearance. Do you think this will be the case, K-Pro?
I think as much as Ranger Jack is a ranger in Yellowstone, there's always possibilities, but it needs to be fun and it needs to be positive. And Copper Dan brings so much goodness with the St. Jude's and stuff. Maybe is my answer. What do you think, Cowlazars?
Oh, I think she should make an appearance. I'm not sure how that's going to happen, but I think it would be fun if she did make an appearance. I don't even know if people know what we're talking about, but we'll see. If it happens, they'll see real soon.
Yeah, I think it could be really fun, but also I'm trying. Stella's trying to get her groove back. So if I could get my groove back, maybe. I'll just say the outfit is already ready. But I want to do. So.
Now, Wayfarer of the Wilderness says Jack would not have went through the process of doing an inventory with Forrest if he left something behind. The reason for the inventory would be to ensure everything was there. I think he just wanted to go through each thing and just hear the stories from Forrest. I don't know if it was really let's make sure everything you said was in here. I
think it exactly was the opposite of what you think. Yes. Right. I think he took the inventory in fall and was ready. How can he have inventoried all of that on Friday evening and been ready for that? No, I think he inventoried it. I don't know. Oh. But I know Fripp says K-Pro's first newspaper and it has the wrong date. Exactly. Do you guys see how incompetent this K-Pro is? You know what I heard?
Going on.
You know what I heard? I heard Sarah Davis doesn't like K-Pro, and maybe if Sarah Davis made an appearance, you would hear all the bad stuff about K-Pro. Yeah. I agree, Gross Proc.
Absolutely, but not really. So we'll see, guys. Make sure you subscribe and stay tuned. And maybe, just maybe, Sarah Davis will make an appearance on this channel. You never know. You never know. Okay, moving on. Cowlazars holding back sources. Why won't Mike release the name and email of the person about not paying any bets? Well, that's pretty simple because they asked me not to. Because they don't want to get involved with all you crazy people. So they asked me not to. They said it's okay to talk about it, but they don't want their name out there. So that's why. It's pretty simple.
And I have such an issue with it since he's in the chat rooms and stuff. Occasionally he's on Discord. But Mike holds to his word. That's why. Yeah, but here's what we actually think. Go to the next slide. It's because you made it up, Mike, you big old liar.
Well, I got to be a Ferengi. Is it Ferengi? I think that's how you pronounce it.
I just thought that was a guy from either Star Wars or Star Trek, so I put him in. I have no idea who that is.
All right.
No, I'm being serious.
That's great. I'm trying to say I have big ears. Okay. Here we go. This is the one everybody wants to know. Cynthia, did F ever tell you? Or is this
we have a couple about Cynthia because she is popular. So we have a couple about Cynthia. And of course, everyone thinks they should direct their questions to me about Cynthia, and I'll go over that in a second. So let's roll on. There's a couple here, and then the map stuff we're going to talk about as well.
So this was an email asking a question.
Up on Thor.
On Thor. Well, yeah, not an email, on Thor. What I'd like to know from Cynthia is, did Forrest ever say to her, when you enter the park, act like you own it, because you do? She made a video about it at one time. If Forrest did say that to her, that is the biggest clue she ever got. I don't understand why that's a clue. So, okay, for me personally, I've never heard that. I never heard Cynthia say that. I don't know anything about that. But I don't understand if Forrest did say that to Cynthia. How is that a clue to anything? What do you think, Kate?
Okay. So I'll say a couple things. That this was the most fun name to actually type in, the AAB capital AC. I kind of messed up about 10 times. So I think I got it right. This is what I would say in two ways. One, she made a video about it. So if she made a video about it, I would assume that's what she said, because if she's on video, we can verify that. So if she did say that it's the biggest clue ever, it probably relates in some way to this person, Solve, and he's a contributor up on Thor, has fun. And so in my opinion, I don't think it's if it's out there, I don't need to ask her about it because it's already out there.
Well, and I guess after rereading it here and looking at it for a moment, I guess what they could be referring to is if Forrest said, when you enter the park, act like you own it because you do. That's just Forrest saying The government doesn't own that park. The people own that park.
Right.
And that kind of leads credence to Forrest saying, if I want to hide a treasure chest in my park because we all own it, I'm going to do what I want to do. So I guess I kind of see that a little bit. So
yeah. But let's get the official answer. And what's that, Mike?
What is the official answer? Just ask, not us. You got to ask Cynthia. I don't know why you're asking K-Pro. Ask Cynthia. Yeah.
So Cynthia has a YouTube. Cynthia is on our Facebook page. Cynthia has an account on Thor. Cynthia is a part of the community, and she has emails that are public that you can email her. I heard she really likes it if you send her all of your solves. So if everyone can send her a quick email tonight, I want her to have 200 emails by morning. And I want you to do that. Cynthia's out and about all the time. I know she just had a great adventure in another part of the state. She needs to come home to 200 emails. Help us. Help her, you all.
Her blog. She has a blog too. You remember the blog? You remember?
CynthiaMeachamsNaked.com. I don't know.
All right. She's out there though, guys. You can now. Well, if she doesn't respond to you, sorry, we can't make her respond. I mean, that's between you and her. So, all right. Ask Cynthia yourself, everybody.
Just ask. I love this one. Okay.
Google Earth. Why would Sarah Davis need to use Google Earth to confirm a place in the park? She manages the park. She knows the locations. And the affidavit says she zoomed into the exact log. There's no way possible to zoom into the exact log. Can this be reconciled, K-Pro? What say you?
Two things. One, this was up on Facebook and I lost it, but I said I would answer it tonight. Let's first go to the next document to see, does it say in the affidavit, Sarah Davis said, I zoomed in on the exact log or exact nook? Let's look at that first.
That would be interesting. Okay, this is from the paperwork that was filed in the court case. In August of 2020, a Zoom meeting was held with Forrest Fenn, attorney Tom Nasco, and Jack Stoof, and government officials. At this meeting, Mr. Stoof provided detailed, specific information regarding the location where he found the Forrest Fenn treasure box, the Fenn treasure, on or about June 6, 2020. Forrest Fenn then confirmed the location as the same location where he left the Fenn treasure. Using Google Earth, Chief Ranger Sarah Davis was able to locate and match the area described by both Stoof and Fenn. The following week, Chief Davis, along with the Deputy Chief Ranger, went to the area described by both Stoof and Fenn. So no, there was no zooming in and finding a log on Google Earth. They did use Google Earth to find the area. So that clarification.
So let's look at one of Cynthia's maps. Cynthia has lots of maps. We're going to talk about Cynthia's maps. So let's go to the next slide.
But I also want to point out that in this little paragraph, it proves, what's it prove, K-Pro? It proves the auction website's wrong because Forrest Fenn just said he confirmed the location is the same where he left the Fenn treasure. So everybody who thinks the website found it and put it somewhere else, that's not what Forrest says in this legal court document.
But a lot of people think Forrest is a liar. I mean, look at the upcoming, if you look at the upcoming podcast, there's a lot of people either suing or he's lying or,
I got you. But it's just Forrest is confirming, yep, that's where I left it, where Jack found it. But okay. But yeah, if you're not going to believe Forrest, well, then all this is moot anyway.
Right. Or, yeah. So here's Cynthia's 9-mile map. She posted this, and the GPS is on the very bottom, if you guys remember. This is what I think they did. I think they were on a Zoom because they weren't face-to-face. Jack was in Puerto Rico. Forrest was in Santa Fe. And the Yellowstone people were probably at Yellowstone, but maybe they were vacationing somewhere else in Wyoming. And they said, oh, yeah, it was at 9 Mile Hole. They probably did a screen share like we're doing right now. Mm-hmm. And Copper Dan, you need to back this up about 10 minutes when it replays later. We talked about you. Your ears were burning. No red button, I promise. So I think they zoomed in and said, can you give us the general area? Because 9 Mile Hole is pretty large. So they probably said, can we just confirm this since this is the only Zoom we're going to have? And then they zoomed in, not to the log, but tell us about, and they probably put their cursor. Mike, put the cursor on the bottom where the GPS is.
Oh, hang on.
We're getting there. We're getting there.
Here, right at the very bottom. That's the GPS. That's where it was found. That's where Rudy's found the log right there.
Yes.
So again, yeah.
But think about this.
9 Mile Hole. It's like, well, where? This is all 9 Mile Hole.
That's exactly. Yeah.
And they had to zoom in on that tree that was falling over, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know if they've been out to the exact. Did they just go to the parking lot and say, yeah, this doesn't have the infrastructure? They didn't. Did they have to go? They probably could have gone by memory, but they're probably double checking what the hell did this Fenn and Jack guy get us into? Or it's really Fenn. So yeah.
Okay. The right map. What do you think the right map is? You know, Forrest said the right map can be most useful. I believe these was his words. What do you think the right map is? What do you think, K-Pro?
I don't think I've seen it yet. And the only reason I say that is the one that I think is best is I think this was up. Minotaur found this and he found it from someone else, but I can't remember all who to give credit to. So I'll give credit to anyone who had this map first. I saw from Minotaur because I searched for it on a post, but I remember him saying he got it from someone else. So this, to me, has some of the features, but it really needs to say canyon and maybe, you know, that sort of thing. Yeah. So I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Well, my opinion is that if you believe in Yellowstone, the right map would be a map of Yellowstone. Think about it. Wherever Forrest Fenn hid the treasure, the right map would be a detailed map of that location. Right. And more so, if you believe it was a fishing hole, 9 Mile hole, well, then a map of the fishing holes of Yellowstone would probably be most helpful. So I think it was a detailed map of Yellowstone National Park. And even more than that, fishing holes, if you could realize and understand the poem was about fishing, you wanted to figure out Forrest Fenn's favorite fishing hole, etc.
Well, there was a debate up on our Facebook page that Madison Canyon is not a canyon. It's just the Madison River going down. Well, let's go to the next map. Here's another Cynthia map. Since we will talk about Cynthia's maps. It actually says Madison Canyon on it. Okay, stop, Mike. Stop with it. Well, we'll get to that, guys. We're not going to just focus on that. Let's talk about other. It's at the end of the newspaper, guys. Let's not bring up every single.
Well, we're not. The answer is we're not helping deceive and insult anybody. So I'm not quite sure where they're getting that from. But go ahead.
Right, but let's not focus on the one troll in the room. Let's focus on like the topics that we have, and let's not bring up every comment that's negative because there is 150 positive people. So let's try to stay with that helps me at least try to stay in the positive. Okay, so the debate that Madison Canyon is not this area of the Madison River. This is a map from Cynthia that came from Yellowstone Park. And the red underline, can you read the first two words of the red underline?
Madison Canyon.
Okay, so for the people that are saying there is no canyon going down, there's no such thing as Madison Canyon, Yellowstone, I don't think they need to be deposed on this, would say different. Do you agree, Mike?
So I thought the road was called Canyon Road. Is that not correct?
I don't know what the road is called.
Oh, I always assumed it was called Canyon Road, but maybe I'm wrong. But on this map,
it's West Entrance Road.
Oh, okay. Take it in the canyon down. Well, right here on this map, it says Madison Canyon. And guess what? The Madison Canyon would probably follow the Madison River. So there you go.
Yeah. Okay. So that's not, but I don't think when he said you need to have the right map, I'm assuming it needs to be something that would call out the features of 9 Mile hole. And I haven't seen a really good one. I don't know, but could it be in the thing that Woody's talking about video? I think it would be there.
And now here comes the question of the hour. Why does Cynthia drop information like she does? When and why are very good questions.
Wait. I need to tee this up just a little. Okay. There is a little bit of a debate going on about Cynthia dropping some new information about the video, etc. And people are asking, and some people are quite snotty about it, but some people, and like Jeremy has a really good way of saying things. And he said, let me put it as nicely as I can. But these are the concerns. I took one bit of it. You can go see the whole thing, but I took one bit of it because I think it gets to the pertinent question that I think most of the room is excited to hear about. And I have opinions on it because a lot of people are saying, why are you asking K-Pro? Go to Cynthia. Absolutely. Cynthia can answer on Cynthia. Cynthia's a big girl. But I have opinions and I will give them because we are in this section of Dear K-Pro's Corner. Go ahead, Mike.
Okay, this is from Jeremy P. What was the goal here? If the goal was just to let the community know, that doesn't make any sense because she didn't actually let the community know when she knew. These things are just dropped as teasers and everyone has a laugh. In the least, it's a little tone deaf. People are weary of it. This sort of stuff actually hurts a 9 Mile hole story because of the way it is presented. It looks like a conspiracy. If that wasn't the intent, it begs for an explanation. It's one part physical evidence. It's a second part, the trustworthiness of the people who are telling you it. There's some serious trust gaps here, Jeremy P. I think I can agree with everything there.
Yeah. And so here is what I say for a couple different reasons. Like Mike said, so Cynthia puts out, I know this little bit of information and I think 9 Mile hole. The first thing someone asked then is when and who did you hear it from? She posts a picture of her sitting with Shiloh at a campground. Well, what exactly did he say? Did you keep a recording? Mike puts out, don't pay any bets. Well, we need to know the guy's name, what, to go to his house? We need to see the email. And the guy said, if they don't believe you, Mike, and they don't believe me, why are they going to believe an email? They're just going to say it's doctor, just like Forrest is making it up that it was Wyoming. So though I appreciate that everyone wants more, Cynthia's been very clear. She doesn't reveal certain parts for certain reasons.
And that's her right. She didn't have
That's
to.
her right. But think about, I called Heritage Auction. Called Heritage Auction after Packer Jack gave me some information. And I said, actually, he said it came from him because I wasn't sure whether he wanted that out. He did reveal that. I called them and they told me that the treasure chest was at Heritage and they were transferring me to the gold guy. The first thing I got was, no, you are a liar because I called and it didn't happen. And I got a lot of grief. And now Dan Barbarisi's book, every time Dan Barbarisi's updates come out, it's an awesome place to be because I get vindicated. But think about that. Why would Cynthia come out? Because the next thing is you're a liar. You're a liar. You're a liar. You're a liar. All of those things. To what good? What is the goal here? That you need to verify and hear it. And all 2,000 people need to get on the phone with Shiloh, Zoe, Hickey, Nasco, all of them need to hear it, or they have to do recordings only. Why does it need to be? You're going to trust Cynthia or not? A lot of people have met her and said, I trust or I don't. I don't think her saying, I heard it on this day and this is the recording. I mean, you saw us going into Shiloh's home. So I'm not going to go one way or another in saying that. I mean, the ultimate thing is Cynthia needs to answer on her own behalf. But it was, a year and a half ago we said about the SERPA, the Heritage, liar. Yellowstone would never intervene. K-Pro, you are such a liar for clicks. Though now they intervene. I don't mind you saying, gosh, it sounds unbelievable, because it does. Liar for clicks. I'm sorry, $4 an hour does not make my bills. So for you just to realize, and I think Jeremy articulates it perfectly, the frustration on the searcher side. Dale has gone away. Douglas Preston has gone away. So many good people. Digging Gypsy's gone away. Why? Because whatever they say is never enough. And they're called a liar. They're called a snake. They're called, you're doing it for money. You're doing it for clicks. Why would they want to? Because it's never enough. And this is what we really think about Cynthia.
And there it is.
There you go.
So, well, and I'll make it real simple. Here, let me do this. As far as when it comes to Cynthia, the information that she shared since the treasure was found, however she shared it, whatever, there's just three possibilities, everybody. She's either a straight up liar that just likes to make things up to stir up the community. She's delusional and that these things aren't true, but she thinks it is because she's delusional and she posts these things. Or she has information that the rest of us don't have. It's that simple. It's one of those three things. I believe the third one. She has information that the rest of us don't have. But how? But why? But from who and where? I don't know. And guess what? It's none of my business.
I think she's crazy.
You can believe her or don't believe her. You know what I mean?
I think she's crazy.
Now you have the right to say, but now you can ask. Everybody has a right to ask somebody a question, but she has the right to not answer it. And she probably has her own reasons why she does the things she does. So,
well, and here's the other thing. I don't have a problem. You guys know I occasionally talk with her, but the first response from Goldilocks to Jeremy was, why aren't we asking Cynthia that? Why aren't you asking Cynthia that? I don't talk on behalf of Cynthia. I bring a newspaper report once a week to you guys, 1 hour, and that's it. And we're still under the hour, so we're good. So, but do I think ultimately Cynthia is trying to get the community closure, and she knows it's probably not enough at any given point, but there's constraints on all of us that may have that little bit of information that little bit isn't going to all of a sudden get you closure. I mean, so many people are saying 9 Mile Hole, I have closure now. The people that don't, knowing which day Cynthia found out about something, is that all of a sudden going to get you closure? I don't want to keep going. I just want to say, yeah. So a lot of people are, they're just saying.
So if you want answers to your questions, Cynthia is the only person that can give it to you. So ask Cynthia. And if she doesn't want to answer you, well then tough. I don't know what else to tell you. That's how the world works, guys. None of us are owed anything. We could say, well, no, we bought the book and we have a right to answers. But there has been things that have happened that are preventing us from getting the answers from the family and from Jack. And that's just the way it is. So,
well, and some people have said, do you think, I believe Rudy moved that log to 9 Mile Hole to help with the conspiracy. In my opinion, I didn't even put that one on here.
There it is.
Rudy was as open and honest as a person that I think any of us could be. He had some own closure issues, but we all do. I don't think that. I don't think Cynthia's this horrible snake of a liar, but some of you do. But all of a sudden, if she gave you some fact you needed, it's not going to change your mind. You either hate Cynthia or like Cynthia. And the people that hate it, they may fake it, at times to get whatever information, but you're either going to believe her or not. And so I believe she's either delusional or a snake. That's my answer.
Nice. All right. And then we just have one more left, everybody. And that is bringing adventures since 2016, the Cowlazars YouTube channel, Kpro and Cow. So you have any questions? It's kpro3@aol.com or cowlazars@gmail.com. Hintofriches.com is the forum. And yeah, that's it, everybody. We'll still go live when we have some info. There'll still be Chase news to talk about.
So Richard, I was hoping and waiting to get the entire collection together, but I think I'll be waiting until I'm dead. So BIP is a part of a video I have put together. I was hoping for my first edition TTOTC, but I think that is lost to desperate searchers in the chase. So I will get that video out, and yes, I will put together that video, and I am willing for the right price to have some of these things come out. So
KJ saying on the Facebook post about the map, you call everybody dolts, Kpro. Why would you do that? You're just a horrible person.
I have never heard the word dolt.
So
I'm sorry. So you're either mistaken, you have information I don't, or you're delusional. I'm starting to push towards delusional because I've never heard the word dolt unless it auto corrected. I don't know what you're talking about. But what? Okay, there are 200 people in here, and you've called out KJ's comments almost every time, and he's one of the very rare negative people. If you keep calling him out, I'll push the red button again, and we can go down that path. I want to stay away from the negative. So I'm sorry you're a dolt, KJ, but nobody else in here, I believe, is. I like this community, and I even went up on Thor and thanked people because I don't thank them enough. This community helped me through. I focus on the negative too much. You know what? I didn't get my entire collection stolen. I only got one piece stolen. So that's glass half full. I'm learning to be glass half full.
Treasure Warriors, you didn't steal anything, but you just haven't returned the book that you borrowed. So send it back. Here, I'll even give you the address. Actually, we're going to be getting a new address soon. But here, you can pop that in the old mail there tomorrow, would you? Like you said you were going to Jeremy when he asked you about it. So there it is. Just return the Thrill the Chase book that you borrowed. That's all. Nobody stole anything as long as you give it back. And how much time is reasonable? I don't know. Just mail it back and it'll be done. That's simple. Okay.
It's not respectful to call people adults. I know, KJ, so stop being one. Sorry.
Okay. Okay, so no show Thursday, guys. The Treasure Hunt Amusement Park is still open, and you can still work on anything you want, but me and Kpro will not be live on YouTube, at least not for the Treasure Hunting Amusement Park. It's possible one of us could go live Thursday night from where, Kpro?
World Series of Poker!
That's right. World Series of Poker being held at Bally's in Paris. It starts tomorrow. Tomorrow's the kickoff day, and me and Christy are playing in day one of the home warming, not homecoming. I was going to wear a tuxedo for the homecoming. No, it's called the housewarming party, I think. Anyway, it's one of the first tournaments, $500 buy-in. Me and Kpro are playing Thursday. If you're anywhere by Bally's or Paris on Thursday, let us know. And hopefully at the break.
Do we want to tell them what happened last night?
Yeah. We went to Bally's. We wanted to check it out because actually I wonder, pictures are on my phone. We wanted to check it out because they have things set up, for the World Series of Poker. Tomorrow's the big ceremony and the intro and everything. And we played a little tournament. Tell them what happened, Kpro. We played a tournament of Bally's.
It's pretty cool because there's a lot of people, especially the European European players are in. So the game had really been stepped up. It really sucked because Mike and I were on, I think, the final table or maybe the second to the final table. He got ace king. I got ace king.
Oh, that's right.
He went all in. And I hit a flush with my, it was not good. And it was a club. Yeah. So, but I came in second.
So it was her and a lesbian from France. They were heads up.
Why?
That's not a negative thing. They
I'm
were.
not saying a negative, but you could have said a very attractive
Oh yeah, she was, but I'm just painting the picture. If she was married, I would have said a married woman. You know what I mean?
She's married. Her wife was on the final table.
I know. I was talking to her. Yeah, they were here for the entire month of June for the World Series from France. They were actually pretty cool people. So
yes, they were. They were very nice. We actually went over to Paris with them, and it was funny because they were from France, and so I'm like, "Here's where you could be home." They're going to be there for the entire month. Okay, I'm sorry. Keep going.
Yeah. So yeah, K-Pro came in second. They played heads up for a little while, gave nice. K-Pro a little experience because I fully expected her to make the final table. So this housewarming event, there's 5 day ones. And the reason there's 5 day ones is because they expect like 25,000 people for this thing. It's a $500 tournament. It's going to be millions in prize pool. We're playing. We're ready. It's going to be a lot of fun. And we also plan on playing some. We also plan on.
See, look what happens. Look what happens when you say those words.
Yeah, I see. We're also plan on playing some other tournaments. So if anybody's interested in buying action, if you know what that means, you know what that means for me or K-Pro, reach out and we're going to come up with the ones that we're actually going to play. So we had fun at last year's World Series of Poker. I actually placed in one of the events, which was a lot of fun and won some money. So we're going to try it again this year. And Thursday we'll be there. So
yeah, I'm going to be playing Thursday, but then I'm going to be playing the ladies event because they discount it so much for ladies. And then I'm going to play, there's a third event, the housewarming, the ladies tournament,
the mystery bounty tournament.
Mystery bounty. Ooh, talk about that. That one's big.
So yeah, Sam will be out here. Let us know, guys. If any of you guys are going to be out here for the World Series of Poker, definitely JC, Sam. I know I'm missing some people. Janet, is Janet playing? Yeah, come on out and let us know what's going on. The Mystery Bounty Tournament is in June sometime, or it might be July, but it's a $1,000 buy-in. But every time you knock a person out of the tournament, you get an envelope, which has a mystery amount in it. But one of those envelopes is going to have $1 million in it. I think the bounties are 500 all the way up to $1 million. It's a mystery bounty tournament. So you knock out 5 people, you get 5 envelopes, and you get a mystery amount. So that will be a lot of fun. Me and K-Pro plan on playing. I hope I can with work and all that. But yeah, let us know when you're out here, guys.
Oh, the mystery bounty. Sammy, come out for the mystery bounty. Because can you imagine? Let's say, wouldn't this be ironic? Mike knocks me out. And then he gets the envelope, and the envelope's $1 million.
That's funny. If we were ever at the same table in a field that big, that would be astronomical.
Yeah, and it's day 2 that they start the bounty envelopes coming out. So as long as you bag, yeah.
The World Series of Fenn winner did have multiple buy-ins. That is true. Yeah, that's true. Okay, so yeah, that's it. We'll be playing the World Series of Poker Thursday. Now, again, we
did want to say, and we've already announced this, because some thought maybe that was a strategy is kind of trying to, if you've ever been in the Chasers poker, we have 2 buy-ins at the very first like 20 minutes or something. And everybody goes all in to either try to triple up or you're just handing it to others. We are going to make it next year. So the first item, we actually might pull the items out of the poker tournament, but the first item, the top item that usually comes from the Fenn family, Mr. Fenn or Shiloh, will be only for a first buy-in because we had so much feedback on that. But it was all fair game. There was nothing wrong with it. So,
or maybe we should just raffle it. And that way everybody has a fair chance. Because a lot of people can't afford to rebuy a bunch of times. You know, Some people barely could play the one. Some people aren't good at poker. So we're talking about it. But for next year's World Series of Fenn, we will get it all straightened out and let you know. Maybe we'll just raffle everything. I don't know.
Well, and if you guys have an idea of how to do it, maybe it's a raffle or maybe it's something different than poker. Even though it is a poker tournament, you still win the money for that. And it could still be based around that. So should we do it different? We'll take your advice. Yeah, we'll take your advice.
Yeah, and the other thing is, John mentioned it, somebody else mentioned it. We did do a big garage sale Saturday. We did very good. We blew out a lot of the stuff that we got from the storage unit. And as you guys might be able to see back here, I've started going through the comic book collection. These boxes are all full down here. And yeah, next thing will be selling the comics. But yeah, we did, it was a lot of work, but we made a lot of money. We actually broke the record for how we've done in the garage sale. So we did good.
Yeah, and Shannon, was her first time playing, and she made it all the way to the end and didn't have a second buy-in. Not even a second buy-in, which was pretty amazing. Yes, that pretty redhead, otherwise known as Odious Soul, Shannon. She is all around. And she's like living life now. So she did skydiving. She got a new motorcycle. She's awesome. So there you go. There you have it. There it is.
I think that's it, everybody. Yeah, if we go live Thursday, it'll probably be from Bally's if one of us is knocked out, but hopefully we're still in it. in it to win it. Thursday is just day one. If me and Gabriel make it through to day 2, that is then on Monday of next week. And then you're in the money. Actually, I think you're in the money on the first day. They
I don't think so.
5,000 people.
Well, and they're only putting 5 days. They're only putting what, 6,000,
5,000 players a day,
5,000 or so players a day. So like day 1 is already sold out, which is awesome. I think every day will sell out.
It's going to be crazy. I'll try and vlog it. Maybe I'll try and do a bunch of video and then we can upload it later.
But out of the, let's see, if that's 5,000 a day, divide that by 9, that would be 500 tables. Mike and I are next to each other at the tables, which is fabulous.
Because we bought in one out. Yeah, that's true. That is true.
So they probably do. I think you're at like 56 and then I was 57 and then they keep going. So I'm just glad we're not at the same table because that would make me you only need one big hand an hour. If you're doing these multi-day tournaments, one big hand an hour. That's all you need.
It's all about patience. So again, if anybody wants to buy some action for any future tournament, this one, me and K-Pro are going to do on our own, the $500 ones. The $1,000 ones, I would feel more comfortable if somebody was to buy half the action. And if anybody wants to put me or K-Pro in the main event for 50%.
Oh, I'm not ready for the main event.
I'm in.
I know, but you've been playing poker 20 years longer than me. So
there are a bunch of yahoos out there just because they have
more money. But here's what I remember. I remember 4 years ago, I was just trying to win. So like if I got a full house, I would go all in right after the flop. Well, if I have the nuts now, I'm going to try to get the best value out of my hand. I didn't do that 2 years ago. I didn't. Oh my God, I bluffed the hell out of a hand last night. I've not bluffed before, and I will give a shout out to the poker guys. I know they play a lot more consistently than I do, but it's pretty awesome that they've helped me kind of help my game as well.
That is the Paris entrance to the World Series of Poker. And that's where me and Christy will be on Thursday, 10 a.m. bright and early. So,
yeah, Doug, exactly. Like pot odds, really understanding, reading the other players. I'm starting to, I went through Negrano's masterclass. I only made it to like the 4th episode because I wasn't ready for that next part. So I'm getting to the pot odds part. I'm getting into, well, Mike, you remember I would raise 50 chips or I would raise 5,000 chips. And you're like, why? I'm getting to those, but it takes years to learn and master poker. So anyway, we went on a little side tangent. That's what we've been up to. So this weekend, I put this together between last night and this morning because these shows and things are becoming less and less amount of my time. This show isn't, but I'm in less and less of the chats. I'm not even really looking back on a lot of them. I think Toby's, I'll zoom through the Forrest Fenn part. I always try to hit the Copper Factory. And the beginning part makes me so nervous with the you don't know Jack part, but I definitely get to Packer Jack's PowerPoints just rock. But the rest of, unless it's something that somebody sends me, I'm missing a lot. Actually, Mike's the one that told me about a couple of things. He's like, did you see this or that? He turns it on when he's doing his looking at his computer stuff. He can multitask. I don't, because it affects me more. And there's too much negative in the world right now. And I'm trying to get back to Stella getting her groove back. So Copper Dan, check out the beginning of the show. There's a possibility, but we need to be on the same page. I sent you a text as well. Okay.
All right, that's it. Thank you for tuning in. Happy Memorial Day again. And we'll probably go live at some point Thursday to let you guys know how we did. It won't be a Treasure Hunt amusement park video, but I look at poker.
Copper Dan, you need to, with your comment, you need to go back about 10 minutes before you came in the room.
Davis and Ranger Jack going back and forth. That would be pretty good. We'll see.
It might be a little tangent to that, but only in the positive. You need to check your text. I don't want to get caught up in the craziness of negativity.
If you're going to be out in Vegas for World Series of Poker, let us know.
Yeah, all right. We'll meet up with you. Thanks, guys.
If not Thursday, we'll talk to you over the weekend. See you, everybody.